Hello family, today is November 29th, 2022. So I want to go over today's topic is the Adderall shortage that we're facing. I just want to periodically make videos, update on the people on what's currently going on with this medication and what my personal thoughts is. So guys, in regards to the medication Adderall, it's something that I've been using for quite some time now, since late 2015. It was a medication used, to help me focus through school and help me get through, be able to sit down through that bullshit. And now we're met with a shortage. So, pretty much, I've never had any issues obtaining the medications up until recently. August was where it started becoming an issue to where there seems to be a shortage of supply. And then up until recently, there has still been no update on whether or not the shortages have been resolved. And now, just checking, as of today, there has still been no news. So, if you guys don't know, Adderall is a medication used to most commonly treat ADHD. Most commonly prescribed to children at such a young age. And at this point, guys, it's pretty much freaking prescription meth. And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I have a dependence on it. So the shortage definitely affects me. And literally, how this shortage is affecting me personally is if I don't have that medication, it is extremely hard to just focus on day-to-day tasks or even just freaking get out of bed to do certain tasks. Granted, I don't have a job right now, but I will be starting a job here soon. But fortunately for me, I have educated myself enough to know that all the effects that I'm feeling are just side effects of the medication. I will also link down to Dr. Andrew Huberman's podcast where he talks about motivation, drive, how to increase it, and how medications like stimulants like Adderall can really destroy your normal reward center. So, most people that have been using Adderall for some time are generally dependent on it. When you're dependent on it, side effects include fatigue, lethargic, anger, mood swings, and I experience those firsthand, guys. Like, sometimes whenever I really don't even care about the consequences of some of my actions whenever I'm in one of the I call it meth rages, because that's pretty much what it is. And it's quite concerning, guys, because to my knowledge, I actually found out that a lot of people rely on this medication. A lot of people who are in charge of maintaining our critical infrastructure are using this medication. And most of them don't have the education nor the knowledge to understand why without that medication they can't even function no more. And that, my friends, is extremely frightening. Just think about it, guys. People that are critical in maintaining our infrastructure and they can't freaking operate, or they're operating based on frustration and anger. Think of what that can lead to. And personally for me, what I think is causing the shortages, according to pharmaceutical companies, Teva, Sandoz, they're all saying that there has been a shortage of workers and that's what's causing their manufacturing issues. I don't think so. I personally, this is more conspiratorial, is that the world's wealthy elites are hoarding the supply of this medication. Because if indeed is true, we are approaching the end, or actually rather the start of the fourth turning. And if you guys don't know what the fourth turning is, I suggest that you guys look into a book written by William H. Strauss, or you guys can check out the audiobook version, which I will link down to the description box below as well. Audible is one of my favorite audiobook apps. You can literally, every month you get 2 free credits well, they're not free because you're paying for them, but those credits eventually build up over time, and you can download and keep the podcasts on your library. And one of the books that I suggest y'all read is The Fourth Turning by William H. Strauss. He'll go into detail on how generations prior to us and their decisions and their actions have then led us to where we are at right now. That being said, some of the potential causes I think that are the reason why we are facing a shortage is that this is a man-made shortage. There's no way from at least my knowledge, is that they can't solve this shortage. But another reason for the shortage, according to the news, is that since 2020, since the COVID pandemic where everything was shut down, there has been an extreme increase in the diagnosis of Adderall. Companies like Cerebral and Dome have started online prescribing, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know that you were able to get diagnosed online for ADHD. How do you do that? How do you diagnose for ADHD, right? When I went into my doctor, I fabricated a story and I just acted out of pocket to make it seem like I required such medication. But at this point, it's not even about the focus anymore, because the way that Adderall works, how it binds on to certain receptors in your brain, such as norepinephrine and dopamine, while also binding onto the epinephrine receptors in your adrenal, which, for me, I've had personal experience when it comes to adrenal fatigue. When you're experiencing adrenal fatigue, it can trigger a cascade of a lot of harmful side effects, such as hair loss, depression, and it can literally throw out your body's homeostatic levels completely out of whack. Your adrenals, the adrenal gland rather, is an extremely important gland for overall just functioning. It is responsible for appetite, mood, all the above. So when that gland that is responsible for literally your overall existence is compromised, that can lead to a plethora of options, destruction. For example, if your adrenals are completely fatigued, you'll feel extremely depressed. You'll constantly be craving dopamine. And if you're like me, you have a harder time sticking to a healthy diet. You're constantly drowning yourself in poison. And the food that we're eating nowadays, guys, often the majority of people that I know rarely are able to make any food at home, and they're eating fast food. And eating fast food with the amount of hormones that are present in said foods, that is just a recipe for disaster, guys. So not only are we sabotaging our adrenals, we're also not supplementing it with foods that promote health. But yeah, guys, this is just my little 2 cents on this whole entire Adderall shortage and how I think that it's going to lead to a very dark time, guys, because you got a lot of children that are currently on this medication. And this morning when my cousin Vince sent me that video where he says me and Brian are pretty much beyond saving, really opened a light to my eye, because I definitely do not want to, well, I guess I'm already too late, because at this point I really don't have any natural motivation. And according to Dr. Andrew Huberman, once those receptors are destroyed, they aren't going to come back. But I do believe in proper supplementation, proper nutrition, proper sleep, you can regain some normality. But it's going to be a long and tough road, guys. But I'm here with you, and we are definitely going to get past this. Or we're going to end up all in prison or doing some heinous shit. Who knows? But until the next one, guys, thanks for tuning in.